Hey guys, Dan Fooled, Mr. Grey, Dandalf the Grey. I wasn't going to make a video today. I got a bit of a headache. Bit of an iffy stomach. I think I might have called something off Purple, even though I haven't bloody seen him for like 3 months. But I wasn't going to make a video or anything. And this video, which we're going to... This article, I should say, we're going to read... I'm not having a go at anyone, right? I should state that I always say I'm not having a go at anyone, right? Because I'm just not. My Haunted Hotel. Again, I'm not having a go at My Haunted Hotel, right? They posted an article from Higgy Pop, love the name. And it's an article by Steve Higgins. Now, I don't know if they're a paranormal investigator, ghost hunter, YouTube ghost hunter, YouTube debunker, whatever, or just a writer. Whatever. But an article posted, I do want to read this, because, I mean, I agree with some stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I disagree with. And, you know, I'm not an authority in anything. I say that all the time. I'm just going to give my 2 pennies to this article. I think it gets some stuff wrong, some stuff right. I'm touching the mic, I do apologize. Hopefully my headache doesn't come across as a bad mood. It's really not. It's just a headache splitting in my big bald bones. I'll post this article down below. Like I said, I'm not having a go at anyone. I'm not having a go at the article. Comes up with some good points, some comes up with some bad points. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to go from there. Oh, for those new here, by the way, I suppose I make debunking videos. I have been for about almost 5 years now. I've always focused on the visual aspect. Right? I'm stating this now because the article goes into some stuff, right? But I've always focused on the visual aspect of the videos I'm looking at. Usually the visual effects involved, like masking, and seeing if there's any artifact in whatever, what it could be, what this could be, what that could be, explaining like frame rates of, well, you know, when people in CCTVs always mistake things for ghosts. I've broken down a lot of videos over the years, a lot of the ones you still see on these top 5 channels, and when the ones I have made full-blown debunks on, I am 100% on that. It's not, I think it's this. I am 100% on a lot of these clips I've broken down over the years. Some of the more famous ones, you know, doing the rounds like they always do on the internet. But I always state, if I don't know, I'll give an opinion, like it could be that, but I will always say, I don't know. I don't know. I always state that, right? I am supposed, because I watched the My Haunted podcast, and again, I agreed with some of it, I disagreed with some of it. I'm not going to go into it, maybe for another video. The term reaction debunking came up, and half of me agreed with what they were saying about it, and the other half didn't, right? Like I said, I'm not going to get into the full details of that right now. I can't be asked. Like I said, my little bald head is hurting right now. An article's come out. When did it come out? Today, actually. A new wave, and it's called "A New Wave of Debunkers Could Be Doing More Harm Than Good." Now, we'll get to some stuff, right? But before we read the article, I say this all the time. I say this all the time, and it's one of the big parts of the My Haunted podcast I firmly agree with. If you're not 100%, you cannot call it a debunk. I have said this time and time again. It's part of the reasons why years down the line, years ago, I started calling a lot of my videos breakdown and analysis. That's what I started calling them. Because unless I was 100%, that's a visual effect. That's an artifact, visual artifact in. This audible thing you would think is a ghost is not that. Unless I'm 100%, I always say it's a breakdown analysis. Because I'm not 100%. And I've stated this time and time again. And this is what I stand by. Now, for those who are like probably wondering, who the hell is this bald guy? I'm probably, even though I've been doing it longer than most people, I'm probably the lesser known, right? Which is fine, by the way. It's because I haven't had a growth spurt like these newer debunking channels because, you know, and they know this. There's a lot of drama involved with these, not just debunkers, but like other paranormal channels, back and forth, and people thrive on drama. They like it. That's why they go to a lot of channels. I'm not saying this is why they've grown so fast. I'm not saying that at all. It helps. It does help. It's a fact of life, right? This article now, like I said, I agree with some stuff and I don't agree with other stuff. We're going to go through it step by step. And then I'm going to take some painkillers. A new wave of debunkers could be doing more harm than good. Believe ghosts don't exist? Think paranormal teens spread misinformation? Remember, resorting to flawed logic and assumptions to debunk their claims makes you no better than what you perceive them to be. I agree. There's no denying what the debunking and skepticism. Like I said, I will post a link to this article. And I'm not having to go at Steve Higgins one bit. But I think there's a bit misinformation somewhere in this. There's no denying that debunking and skepticism play crucial roles in the field of paranormal research. By questioning the validity of evidence and methodologies, investigators are pushed towards more rigorous standards, which is undoubtedly beneficial. However, the community has recently been confronted with a new wave of debunking channels on YouTube. The role of debunkers ideally is to bring clarity and truth to a field where ambiguity and fraud are common, but instead of using this skepticism to cast a critical eye in order to validate evidence, these debunking channels seem hell-bent on debunking everything they critique at all costs. Now, I say all the time, just because you debunk something doesn't mean they're fair, right? I say that a lot. I think in the past, the word debunked or debunking has been thrown and people assume, oh, they must be fake then. And I agree, you know, it's, you got to be careful. Like I said, I'm no bloody authority. I'm just some dickhead on YouTube. But you still, you know, if you're going to make these type of videos, you have to be careful. You have to be careful what you say. If you say, I've debunked them, people are going to just assume, oh, they must be fake then. Don't bother. But that's clearly not the case. Now, I'm not saying that isn't the case in a lot of paranormal channels. Unfortunately, YouTube, TikTok, any other media platform where there's paranormal stuff on there, off the top of my head, a random number, I'm going to say 99% of it is proper bollocks. You know it, I know it. So this is why when you have a paranormal team on the YouTubes or video or on mainstream TV, people are going to question it. People are going to question it, and so you're damn right they should. I should have said at the beginning, I'm a full-blown skeptic. I am an open skeptic, but I have never seen anything in any mainstream media on YouTube or anything that says to me that the paranormal is real. I'd love it to be real. I have not seen any evidence of that at all. I use logic. I use visual experience. I have over 20 odd years of visual, you know, not just editing videos, but like just visual effects and stuff I'm not going to go into right now because it goes too long. I know how to spot a visual effect, and that's how I've done the debunking in the past. And I have gone on paranormal investigations, and I've been invited by a lot of people, and I've gone along to these supposedly haunted places. And I mean every single time. And I know they say, oh, ghosts don't have to perform for you. I know, I understand that. I understand that sentiment. But at the same time, if whatever team invites me along, I'll see their videos. And like I said, this is not knocking those teams. I'll see those videos and they'll get knocks. They'll get voices come through. They'll get responses to knocks, and they might even see something in the distance. And this is every time I've gone along with them, and this is every time now. Some of it you haven't seen because they've been offline. Some that are up on my channel. Every time I've gone with them, 0 things have happened. 0 things. Because they know I'm there, who is a skeptic. And they probably, you know, in their minds, they probably think we shouldn't react to this random knock, which is probably a house. But if we say, though, is it George? Dan's just going to say, no, it's not. So I think the grasping of straws by a lot of paranormal teams doesn't happen when I come along. It just doesn't. I wish they did when I was there, to be honest. I wish they reacted the same when they were on their own. I wish they did. I genuinely do, because I want to see what, you know, they're like in person, but it never happens. But anyway, debunking is an important, as someone from a scientific background, I'm not a scientist. I say that all the time, but I apply the scientific method. I have my entire life. It's just what I've done. And, you know, that one time I was really good at physics in school, in the comp, back in the 90s. I'm just saying. You have to go in... You have to be able to debunk something. And it's not even debunk. You just have to say, like, what the hell is this? Right? You have to say it. If you don't allow people to question what you're putting up, I'm talking to you paranormal teams now. If you don't allow people to question what you were putting up, you are shouting into an echo chamber and just believing your own confirmation bias, right? I'm not singling anyone out, but I see it all the time. But anyway, I'm going to carry on with the article. I just thought I'd get some stuff out. In the interest of transparency, I class myself as a skeptic, but even I disapprove of the approach of many of these debunkers. They appear heavy-handed, potentially causing more harm than good. As I see it, the world of paranormal investigation is riddled with questionable evidence, ranging from outright fakery to misidentification of natural phenomena. Ideally, the debunkers should act as beacons of truth, cutting through the confusion, yet in their rush to dismiss every claim, this new breed of skeptic often leaps to incorrect conclusions, employing flawed logic in their critiques. Now, I don't know who they're getting at. I generally don't, because debunking channels now, there's a lot popping up, and I think it's great. I think it's great because, like I said, I've been doing this a number of years. When I started, there was 2 other channels doing it. One who did it every now and again, another who did it quite often. But that was it. That was it. And now I think there's there's probably 10 channels I can think of off the top of my head. All with different degrees of experience. You know, some of them paranormal investigators, some of them don't do paranormal investigating. Some are full-blown skeptics, some of them are full-blown believers, but either way, they make debunking videos. Well, I agree that, you know, not everyone can be as thorough as other people. And like I said, I'm not classing myself as an authority on anything before anyone says, how dare you think you... I'm really not, right? But yes, there is a lot of debunking channels out there now with all different tiers, we'll say, TIER, of experience or background or knowledge, whatever. But anyway, arguably, debunking based on such shaky ground could be worse than fabricating evidence. Now, I agree with that. I agree, right? I totally agree that if you make a debunking video and you say, I think these people are fake. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure they're fake. Now, it's fine saying that, but you have to stand your ground. If you're going to say, I think this is fake, but I can't prove it, you have to. So it's probably better not saying that. Right? But you could also, as well, at the same time, if you make a mistake, I'm talking about debunking videos now, if you make a mistake on something, on any paranormal team you're looking at, or channel, or clip, whatever, if you make a mistake, then people are just going to single out that mistake and disregard every single one of your videos. Right? So that's why I always say you have to be 100%. Because if you make a mistake in the debunking video, people will single that out, and then they will class all debunkers as the same. Whether you're on bloody YouTube or in person, they will class them all the same. Debunkers don't know shit. Because look at this mistake this guy made. So you do absolutely have to be 100%. Say that all the time. I'm repeating myself, but I have to repeat it. But yeah, I agree. Jumping to conclusions will go against them. And it does go against, you know, for example, like a paranormal team. If someone says, oh, look at this string there. And you look at it, oh, no, actually, it's not a string. There's not a mask there. I think it's just a mistake in either in editing or it's an accidental thing. There's no string there. But then that team gets classed as fake. They could be fake. In my skeptical mind, everyone is sus, right? Everyone, I'll just say that right now. Until I start looking into them, until I meet them in person, I'm sus about everyone. It's just the way I am, right? It's just the way I am. I don't care how nice you are. I'm sus about everyone. It's just the way I am. But that doesn't mean I think everyone's fake. What I mean is, I think, you know, a lot of teams grasp at nothing and say, this is evidence. And you see it all the time. For example, a video clip might show an object seemingly moving on its own, but when critiquing this occurrence based solely on the video with no additional context, videos alone can't provide a full account of an environment and circumstance at the time of recording. They might not show what's happening just off camera or fail to convey the overall atmosphere of the location. Again, I agree on that, but there's a big but, right? A lot of these channels, and there's a lot of like really high profile paranormal channels, they'll show a chair moving from underneath the table. Now, obviously, we can't see all angles of that video, so you could say it was probably being pulled by someone. I would, in my logical brain, I'm one of those people who say that's being pulled by someone. I won't say on a video, but I'll say that's being pulled by someone. I can't prove it, so you know it's not a debunk. But my logical brain is saying that ghosts don't exist. And that chair is being pulled by someone. But I can't tell that because of the angle of the cameras. But the people filming that, or the people with those cameras, they know full well what is outside those angles of the cameras. So it is up to them to say, or maybe show raw footage of, like, if they're filming in a locked off camera and they show like a 30-second clip of a chair being pulled from underneath a table. Show the entirety of that entire recording in like whatever you're recording, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever. Show that in its entirety, so you can definitely prove then that no one went in there 5 hours before, no one went in there 5 hours after. You could do that, but they don't. They don't, and I can sort of understand why. Because why would you want to upload a 10-hour bloody paranormal investigation? That's just boring. But if you get clips like as powerful as you think that is as for evidence, then release the full footage or give someone the footage, whatever. Or put it up on like a Google Drive for anyone to download the entirety of that raw footage just for them to look, if you don't believe me, here's the raw footage. Nobody went in, nobody came out. It's as simple as that, but they don't. And like I said, maybe it's to keep a video down to a time, but at the same time, if you want to prove something as evidence, put it up. But anyway. Again, I'm digressing. Without being there in person, debunkers might not fully grasp the range of environmental factors such as weather conditions, local wildlife, or nearby human activities, which could explain supposed paranormal phenomena. This makes it challenging to attribute the movement seen in the video to the paranormal activity or to dismiss it as a draft or a natural explanation. Again, it's always good to be there in person, but not everyone can. Some people live in America, some people live in Australia, some people live in sunny South Wales, which is not that far. One common example of flawed logic being used to debunk that I often see relates to claims about ghost hunting apps. Now this part of the paragraph is interesting to me, right? We'll get to it. I often hear people dismissing the ghost hunting apps results as fabrications based on various things, including the claim that the apps use voice recognition to eavesdrop on the investigator in order to provide relevant and meaningful results. However, those making the claim actually have no idea how the code that powers these apps work, and they overlook the fact that not all of these apps have permission to access the phone's microphone. I'm not for a second saying that all apps are credible and trustworthy, but debunking them based on incorrect assumptions is flawed. I agree, saying something wrong about an app, you're going to look stupid, but at the same time, I am convinced, like I said, I'm a skeptic, open skeptic. I don't believe any tech will detect anything. So, especially in the app, you can download off the bloody Play Store or the Apple Store. I don't know why people put all their trust in them. And, as far as like detecting voice, probably not, but it is a fact that phones listen to you. You can look this up. It's a fact. Right? It's not a conspiracy. Your phones are always listening. It's a fact. Now, I know there's a legal requirement when coding a piece of software, coding an app for anything that, you do not listen, you do not, without permission, go into photographs, video files, audible files. There is a legal requirement of that. That doesn't mean everyone has to listen to that. There's nobody checking that, unfortunately. You go on any app store, there's like 100,000 apps. 10,000 of them will be absolute scam apps. I'm not saying these ghost apps are. I'm just saying, even though there's a legal requirement, it could happen. But in my eyes, no app is detecting anything other than spouting out randomness, from a word bank generator. Even the ones who, you know, they say there's an EMF detector built in. It's not the same kind of EMF you were thinking of. So it's not detecting much. It's probably detecting little tiny bursts from natural phenomena. But then people rely on those ghost apps as evidence, and then they spin the narrative the entire night, saying they've contacted this dude called Bill, who was a Satanist, because the app said rituals. You know, so you have to use logic when it comes to technology on anything. But I know I'm going off tangents now because it's just all in my brain and I'm trying to spout it out on the fly here. But I always find it bizarre. Any paranormal team, anyone's, you think, whether they fake or whether they truly believe what they are finding is real. If you go out year after year after year, and you're constantly asking, is there anyone there? You never get answers, or you get a knock. A knock. Now, I don't know why that would be communication. That's going from old charlatans from the 1800s who came up with that. You know, you get nothing but one knock, and you get what you think is an EVP on those really highly sensitive EVP recorders. And yet you still go out weekend after weekend after weekend. I can't imagine the toll that would take on someone. So I do commend them on that. If a scientific experiment, if an experiment is done in a scientific laboratory, and every single time you do it, nothing happens, that's if you do it like 4 or 5 times or whatever, you realize then, okay, this isn't detecting what I was hoping it would detect. It's time to move on. But you don't. You still use the ghost apps. You still use EVP recorders. The evidence that is supposedly being picked up in any paranormal video investigation is solely based on hearsay and speculation. But you can only speculate so many times until you realize, okay, this isn't picking up stuff. But people have still been using the same tech for about 20 years. I'm not talking about ghost apps, I'm just talking in general. And you go back like 100 years, it's different tech again, but then they moved on from that because they realized, it's not detecting anything. I'm going off so many tangents, I do apologize. I'm supposed to be sticking to this article. When someone attempts to debunk paranormal claims and is incorrect in the assessment, it can unjustly discredit individuals or teams who are genuinely seeking answers or sharing their experiences. It also spreads misinformation, contributing to a culture of skepticism that dismisses all paranormal claims without proper consideration. A lot of us have been considering stuff like this for years. For absolute years, and I'll never dismiss people's beliefs. I never will. But I will always give, maybe it could be this. Maybe this is the other option you should be looking into instead of just preying on getting a knock for the last 30 years. If a ghost dancer claims to have recorded an EVP, a skeptic would look into whether the recording could have been influenced by external factors such as radio interference or ambient noise. Again, this can't be done based on a video alone. That is not true, actually. As cameras only capture visual and auditory information, leaving out the factors that were required to confirm the Debunkers' assumption. That's not true, right? That is not true that you can't do that only on video based alone. When a paranormal team puts a video up, this is them presenting the evidence as they see it. If they're going to put a video up and there's like a whisper, whatever, you can't then say, well, this isn't actually evidence, you had to be there. Well, why did you put the video up then? Why did you put this video up as saying, look, this whisper, is this evidence of a ghost? If you were saying that, then that is your evidence. There's no saying, yeah, we put this video up, but you had to be there. No, that's not the case at all. Take, for example, the phenomena of orbs captured in videos and photographs. These have been thoroughly debunked by both skeptics and paranormal investigators. Controlled experiments have repeatedly shown that what appear to be mysterious orbs are often nothing more than dust particles, insects, or moisture droplets close to the lens, illuminated by the flash or the light sources. I love that explanation because this is what I say all the time. That's the perfect explanation of orbs right there. I like that. While I have plenty of theories of what natural causes might have led to these experiences, I'm not able to prove any of them definitively any more than I can prove that I encountered a ghost. Well, You did. The first part of that paragraph, you absolutely proved what orbs are. Again, I've never seen a photograph or a video evidence where they say this is an orb. I've never seen anything other than dust or a bug really close to an out of focus lens. You explained it very well, and then you said we can't definitively prove that. You should have stuck to that, I'd say. But anyway, I left another investigation that I was a part of, convinced that I'd seen something unexplained. I did my best to try to debunk the strange lights I'd seen that night, but I couldn't. However, I returned to the same location a few months later and experienced the same thing again. It was only due to this second occurrence that I was able to deconstruct the situation and work out what was going on. There's no way I could have ever reached this conclusion based on a video recording of the first event alone. It required repeated occurrences and being present at the location. I agree with that. If it's something as a visual phenomena, I fully agree with that. If you see it once, you go there like 10 other times, you don't see it. You have to think, is what is up there where you're seeing these lights. I don't know what you're referring to. Obviously, I wasn't there. Going back there and seeing it repeated, you can put that down to a natural phenomenon. Fakes and misrepresented evidence should be called out by skeptics and debunkers, but to ensure these debunkers have any credibility going forward, they need to aim to inform and clarify, not to just refute, and dismiss. If done correctly, debunking is a valid part of the investigation process that can help distinguish genuine phenomena from natural or fraudulent occurrences, protect individuals from deception, and promote critical thinking and educational growth. I totally agree on that end. But the reason I wanted to make this video, I just read this as I got home. Maybe I'm reactionary. Who knows, right? As everyone in the debunking community knows, and this is a community now. It never used to be, but this is absolutely a community. Same as the paranormal community, same as the movie community, same as the video game community. You get enough people involved, it's a community. Facts. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because debunkers are getting shit. Now, yes, debunking videos have been wrong. They absolutely have been wrong, right? And most of the time they just laid over, they just left to it. Or sometimes they say, oh, I'm actually wrong in this video, I do apologize. And I can understand how that would make a paranormal team who the debunking video is made on, stand up and say, how the fuck dare you? How dare you? You are so wrong, here's my proof of why you are wrong. I fully agree that those kind of videos should be taken down or not made in the first place if you're not 100%, right? I fully agree with that. Not everyone can go to a paranormal location. I say paranormal location. Not everyone can go to a supposedly haunted location. Not everyone can travel to a different country. I get people say all the time, if you think it's not haunted, why didn't you go there? I'm like, it's 3,000 fucking miles away. I'm not made of money. I have a full-time job. This isn't my job. You get stupid stuff like that. But I can totally understand if a paranormal team has had a video made about them and someone in that video is not 100% and that paranormal team is bang within their rights to say, you're wrong, that's bullshit. That's fine. But the problem is, some people out there who say you're wrong, that debunking video is wrong, you're full of shit. Some people out there will just blanket every single debunker then as wrong or bullshit artists or drama chasers, and that's the problem I have. And then it just creates a toxic shit stain of a back and forth between paranormal people and debunkers people when everyone should be working together. This is the problem I have with, especially in recent, the last couple of the last couple of weeks, I'd say, the last couple of months, the last 2 years, in fact, it's gotten ridiculous. It's become a two-sided thing when it never used to be. And like I said, I'm not singling anyone out. I'm really not. But drama sells. It does absolutely sell. And this is from the paranormal side and the debunking side. It sells. So people will rise to that. Or people will get reactionary like I am right now. I'm going to defend the debunking community. And they are absolutely needed. Just some people need to be so sure of what they're saying instead of just reacting in a video. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. It needs to be done. It absolutely needs to be done. You know, because like I said, you just put a spotlight on all debunkers if you make a mistake in a video. Whether you meant to or not, whether it was an accident or not, you put a spotlight on. And then you give paranormal teams, real or fake, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You give them ammo then to destroy the entire community. Again, I'm not looking at anyone in particular, but this article, it has a lot of good points, but a lot of, you know, it is very against debunkers in general. I do feel that. And like I said, I'm not having a go at this article writer, the person who wrote this article. I'm not having a go. He comes up with some very, very valid points. But at the same time, there's a thing going around right now, that especially the last couple of weeks, of debunkers are not needed. No, we're absolutely needed to keep you maniacs in check. Of course debunkers are needed. Do they have to make videos about it? Maybe not. But you make paranormal videos about it, so why not? You know? I don't know where I was going with this video. I just saw the article and it was something, it didn't bother me, but it's something I wanted to speak about. Because like I said, I've been doing this for a number of years. I've said this in private, but I don't tend to make full-blown debunking videos anymore. One, because I've gone through all the channels, and once I go there and look at something, that's the end of it. But two, I couldn't be arsed with the drama. The drama made me step back from stuff. It made me step back and just, you know, because I have only ever done this to enjoy something. I've only ever made any video. I've had this channel for almost 10 years. I had a channel before that for about four years. So I've been on YouTube for 14 years, technically, right? And I've only ever made videos that I enjoy. I've never made it to tear people down. I've never made it to cause drama. Any full-blown debunking videos I used to make were always on clips I found or clips someone sent me. And I never got personal. I never went after a channel. I don't care how much shit-stained channels there are, even the bloody ITC channels. I despise those kind of channels, but I've never gone after them. Right? That's just the way I've always done it. I just always want to make videos I enjoy, and hopefully people enjoy. That's why you'll see some stupid shit on my channel sometimes, which has nothing to do with paranormal. But that is what, you know, but when all this drama gets stirred up, and it's not just the debunkers call it, it's not, and you know, it's paranormal teams are causing drama as well. It's from both sides. We have to admit, it's from both sides, right? It's just a fact. This just causes so much drama between YouTube channels. I mean, if you want to be drama channels, go make videos on Jake Paul, or you know, make videos with the quartering and stuff like that. If you want to be that kind of channel, I'm looking at both sides. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying some truth to you. But one of the reasons I stepped back from full-blown debunking is because I couldn't be arsed with the drama. I've had it in the past. Not technically nothing to do with the paranormal, but I had it in the past. And I work in a stressful day job. The last thing I want is stress outside my job. And stress in YouTube, which is something I love doing. That's why I took a step back from full-blown debunking. But anyway. Am I going red, or is it just my t-shirt reflecting off my bald head? But anyway, I just wanted to pull out some points of that article. It's a good article, I must admit. But there's a lot of it in there which... It's just plain wrong, if you ask me. And it does target one community. It's just a fact. You know it. I know it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I didn't make this to, you know, stir up anything. It's just my natural thoughts coming through. Are they right? Are they wrong? Who bloody knows? But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this video. Leave us something new to my channel. I do this quite often. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.